Consider for a moment the murky depths to which international politics can sink, and the games nations play to win at all costs. Imagine a superpower so obsessed with technological supremacy that it pressures other sovereign nations to follow its diktats, to ban and ostracize companies it perceives as rivals. Such is the tale of the U.S. and its unrelenting quest to quash China's Huawei. A tale of influence, intrigue, and perhaps overreach. Today, we gather here to dissect the complex web that binds South Africa, the U.S., and Huawei. It is an analysis not just of international relations, but an exploration into how a single nation's obsession can lead to tremendous pressure on others, forcing them to bend to its will. Hello and welcome back to Innovative Check YouTube channel, where we delve into the innovative and transformative projects changing our world. If you're new to the channel and enjoy learning about innovation stories around the world, you've come to the right place. Please subscribe, like, and comment to help boost our videos on YouTube. Now, let's begin. The US, in its race to technological dominance, has viewed Huawei as a thorn in its side, a company that, by offering cutting-edge technology at competitive prices, threatens to upend the very monopoly that the West seeks to establish. The US has pressured its allies, including European nations such as the UK, to ban Huawei. And indeed, many have succumbed to this pressure. When the U.S. turned its attention to South Africa, pressuring it to suspend all operations of Huawei within its borders, they found a nation that refused to bow down. South Africa, part of BRICS, an economic alliance aimed at pushing aside the G7, showed the world that it will not be a pawn in the hands of Western powers. South Africa's ambassador to BRICS, Anil Suklal, reaffirmed this stance, underlining South Africa's commitment to its own path. Now, let us ask ourselves a question. What drives a nation like the U.S. to force other countries to cut off from another? Is it mere paranoia? Or is it an extension of a grand strategy to maintain technological hegemony? The answer is smartly embedded in a two-pronged approach. First, it's the fear of losing control, losing the grip on the global tech market. Second, it's the art of using fear to manipulate other countries into aligning with its interests. The case of Finland and Sweden, who vowed to stay out of NATO, is a testament to this. The U.S. used the fear of Russia to draw them into the alliance. The U.S. has been masterful in using fear as a weapon to mold international policy. But perhaps, in the case of South Africa, they have met their match. South Africa's relationship with China is profound. China is South Africa's largest trading partner, and the bond between these nations extends far beyond mere economics. Huawei has been instrumental in South Africa's technological advancements, helping to digitalize the economy and connect it to the rest of the world. Banning Huawei is not merely a commercial decision. It's an affront to a partnership built on mutual respect. In stark contrast, the U.S. has done little to help Africa progress. Western powers have failed to reach out and develop the region, choosing instead to monopolize technology and isolate nations that don't fall in line. It's a policy built on arrogance, one that assumes that all nations must follow up. The U.S. must realize that it cannot fight its battles through proxies. Huawei's integration into South Africa's technological fabric is not something that can be undone with mere threats or political posturing. President Cyril Ramaphosa's warm embrace of Huawei and the recognition of its role in driving the fourth industrial revolution in South Africa is a strong testament to the nation's commitment to its own path. While the U.S. may continue to exert pressure, South Africa's resolve shows a changing global landscape. A landscape where nations are beginning to question the diktats of traditional superpowers, forging their own paths and finding allies that believe in mutual respect rather than domination. Now, before we delve further into the technological battlefront and Huawei's strategic significance in Africa, let's pause and reflect. Are we witnessing a seismic shift in global politics? Is this the beginning of a new era where nations can openly defy the whims of traditional superpowers without retribution? The U.S.'s failed propaganda in Africa and its dwindling influence are perhaps indicative of a world that is slowly waking up to the importance of self-determination, trust, and respect. If you're enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to subscribe, share the video, and comment. Huawei's decision to center its European operations in Dusseldorf has far-reaching implications. It's more than a mere relocation. It's a signal of a strategic shift that resonates across international politics, trade relations, and technological advancements. Let's dissect this intricate web of international relations and ponder a crucial question. Why has the U.S. campaign against Huawei garnered so much traction? And what does it mean for the world at large? The U.S. has a long-standing history of influencing global policies, bending them to align with its interests, values, or fears. When it comes to technological advancements, we've observed how the U.S. has utilized a combination of political pressure, economic threats, and strategic narratives to push its agenda. And in the case of Huawei, these tactics have been wielded with a ferocity that should alarm those who believe in the principles of fair competition, sovereignty, and innovation. South Africa's resistance to U.S. pressure in banning Huawei is a striking testament to a nation's right to choose its partners and chart its technological course. It's a story of defiance against the puppeteering of big powers, a tale of standing up for independence, and an example of safeguarding economic relationships that have been nurtured over years of trust and mutual respect. So let's ask ourselves, what drives the U.S. obsession with Huawei? Is it a genuine concern for national security? Or is it an uncomfortable realization of a competitor that threatens the U.S.'s technological hegemony? Could it be a manifestation of a broader strategy to contain China's influence and growth? The answer might be complex, but it's wrapped in a truth that we can't ignore, a truth that exposes a level of coercion that should worry not just South Africa, but every nation that values its autonomy. Imagine a world where a single power dictates the technological choices of other sovereign nations. What does that mean for innovation, competition, and the very principle of self-determination? Huawei's entry into Africa and its commitment to digitalize the continent isn't just about technology. It's about opening doors, building bridges, and unlocking potentials. It's about a global company recognizing an underserved market and stepping in to fill a void left by Western powers. It's about a vision for a world that's connected, not controlled. Now, as Huawei gives up on Europe and retrenches to focus on markets that still welcome its technology, we must recognize the loss that accompanies this decision. This isn't just about a company scaling back its ambitions. It's about a world that's losing out on an opportunity to embrace diverse technology and innovation. But what about the European nations that have succumbed to U.S. pressure? Countries like the UK and even Italy's wavering stance present a disconcerting picture. They point to a fragility in international relations where trust is traded for pressure and alliances are molded by coercion. As we ponder these realities, let's not lose sight of South Africa's bold stance. It's a stance that speaks of conviction, strength, and a refusal to bow to unjust demands. It's a stance that resonates with the ideals of BRICS and the aspiration for a world where choices are made by nations, not imposed on them. In this new era of international politics and economic alliances, South Africa's decision is a beacon for other countries that wish to assert their sovereignty. It's a lesson that alliances should be built on mutual respect and common interests, not threats and arm-twisting tactics. Let's pause and ask our audience. Would you prefer a world where technological advancements are shaped by a single power's interests, or one where nations have the freedom to choose their path? I believe most of us would champion the latter. A world where innovation thrives, where nations make choices based on their interests, where cooperation is built on trust, not fear. As we continue to watch the unfolding drama between the U.S., Huawei, and the countries caught in this tug of war, let's remember that this is not just about technology or politics. It's about principles that define our world, principles of autonomy, integrity, and the right to choose our destiny. The U.S. is relentless campaign against Huawei, and its attempt to influence other nations' technological choices should be a wake-up call. It's a call for vigilance, for strength, for standing up for what's right. It's a call to remember that the world is richer when it's diverse, connected, and free from undue influence. Thank you for your attention, and I welcome your thoughts and questions on this complex and vital subject. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to get exclusive videos about how phenomenally China is developing and growing its influence. Your subscriptions and likes motivate us to generate more content, so please keep supporting us. Check out this video showing on your screen right now, and I will see you on the other side.